Zelensky Bad News. Due to conflicting public opinion, Congress removed funding for Ukraine from the bill. Additional aid for Ukraine was stripped from the bill when Congress passed its last-ditch, short-term funding bill on Saturday to avoid a government shutdown. The $6 billion was originally included in various funding bills last week, including ones proposed by the Senate. It represents roughly a third of what the White House requested. The United States has provided more aid to Ukraine than any other nation. According to the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, Congress has approved 4 spending packages totaling more than $113 billion. The funds helped with things like energy, helping refugees, countering disinformation, and bolstering security. The State Department Inspector General found that $62.3 billion, or the vast majority, was allocated to the Defense Department. The United States Agency for International Development, USAID, received the second highest amount, $46.1 billion. The State Department received less than 10% of the funds, the bulk of which went toward aiding refugees and funding foreign militaries. $5 billion went to various other government departments. A sizable portion of it is being spent in Ukraine, even if not all of it came here directly. For instance, the salaries of U.S. troops stationed in Europe or preparing for deployment have cost more than $421 million. Other countries in the region that were impacted by Russia's invasion have also received some of the aid. To help Moldova diversify its energy sources and end its reliance on Russia, USAID provided the country with $300 million. President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine recently traveled to Washington to lobby for the approval of a $25 billion, fifth aid package. The Pentagon controller, Michael McCord, told lawmakers in a letter obtained by the AP that the United States still has $5.4 billion worth of weapons to ship to Ukraine and $1.6 billion left of the money provided to replenish military stockpiles. Other resources, however, are depleted. Since last year, the United States has shipped over $45 billion in weapons. It is unclear whether the Democrats in the House will hold a vote on a standalone Ukraine aid package or whether they will attach it to another bill, such as the annual defense funding bill. Vice President Joe Biden has called on Congress to take swift action. He promises that American aid for Ukraine's defense against Russia will continue indefinitely. Former President Trump called President Putin's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022 smart, and he blamed former Vice President Joe Biden for the conflict. The Wall Street Journal reports that he then called the invasion a very sad thing for the world and country. This year, Trump has criticized U.S. allies for not providing more aid to Ukraine and declared that the war is not a vital U.S. interest. He also maintains his promise to end the war tomorrow. President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine has urged Trump to make public his peace proposal. Trump claims he cannot disclose his strategy for fear of using up all of his leverage.